Hey everybody, it's Derek with The Ultimate Hang, and today we're looking at a four-season or a winter tarp. Today is a beautifully windy day, about 25-mile-an-hour winds. It's a perfect time to show you how to properly pitch a tarp to kind of withstand some of those high winds. And nothing's better than a winter tarp or a four-season tarp. You're gonna get protection from all around. Today we're looking at the UGQ Outdoors. This is the Winter Dream Tarp. We're gonna use this as our demo today to show you how to make that winter tarp work for you for hammock camping. Let's take a look. One of the distinguishing features of a winter or four-season tarp is the fact that it is enclosed on all four sides. So you take a regular kind of hexagonal tarp, winter tarp adds panels that can close off on all sides. We'll show you this other side here. So this one is really battened down for severe weather. Now, as I mentioned, today's a really windy day. And so what I've done, when you want to pitch a tarp when it's really stormy like this, is I've got the broad side of this tarp facing the direction of the wind. So we've got some southwest winds coming in pretty strong. And when it gusts in, you'll see how this tarp really helps to shed that wind. You want to make sure that you don't angle your tarp so that it creates a tunneling effect. Even though a winter tarp has these closed doors, it's still a great idea to pitch the tarp so that that main panel is against the wind. When you have a tarp like this Winter Dream that has a catenary curve, what I've got here, this is a continuous ridge line that goes on the top of the tarp. You could also use end tie-outs. You do not want to put a line underneath this tarp because, again, the catenary curve just will not work well. A lot of winter tarps also have these side panel pullouts. On this Winter Dream, you can purchase them in addition or not have them. They're usually an option by some manufacturers. These side pullouts, you can see this one actually has it's a pole modification. So you can actually hook in a pole, a tent pole, that would actually scoop around the other side of this panel and help to pop out the tarp. Or what I like to do as well is just use a little bit of a shock cord, which I've got here, and guy line, and you can just pull out that side panel. Again, in windy conditions like I have today, these side panel pullouts can really help reinforce the material out on this windward side and provide a little more structural integrity. When you close off on a winter tarp, the end panels, you can see that when you tie down the guy lines on the doors, you want to crisscross them so that you're actually pulling down. You don't want to just pull straight down because it's really easy to actually pop that stake out of the ground. But if you cross it like this, you're going to add a little more structural integrity, and it allows you, in this case, I can leave one door closed and then pop this door open as my panel access. So I don't actually have to have this panel tied down. I only have one panel tied down, then I can have a door enter and exit. Another feature to look for in a winter tarp are catenary curves. You can see on this Winter Dream tarp, every single panel is cut with a catenary curve. That's that gentle curvature on each side. Even on the ridge line, you've got that catenary curve. That helps to draw out some of the excess fabric and tighten up all of the guy points, so you don't have, like right now, there's just a little bit of a persistent breeze, but you're not getting the flapping that you typically do with like a square tarp. All right, we're inside the Winter Dream tarp. I'm actually sitting in one of the corners, just tons of room. Another way that I wanted to show about pitching a winter tarp, you can see that I've actually angled this tarp down, like on the right over here is pitched lower than the left side. This is intentional. This is one way, if the wind were coming from the right side, in this case, I'd pitch this side low to the ground, but then I want to have this side a little bit open. This helps to prevent buildup of condensation, allow some airflow, but I'm doing it on the leeward side against where there's no wind. So in this case, we've got a windy side on the right, calm on the left. So I have more protection on the right. It's angled steep and low. a little bit of ventilation more on the right, and that helps you kind of reduce some of that condensation. It won't prevent it, because you know, one of the things about condensation is, and especially with a winter tarp like this, with everything sealed up, all of this open ground, there's a lot of moisture that can come out of the ground, as well as from the occupants that are inside of the shelter. All of those things contribute to condensation besides of any atmospheric conditions. But having this tarp pitched up like this, we can see it's kind of on an angle, helps to allow some airflow on the leeward side. One of the nice features that I like about the UGQ Winter Dream tarp is you'll notice that all of the hems are using some reinforcement to help strengthen it. So this tarp may not be the lightest on the market, but it's not intended to be. It's one of the more durable ones. It's very strong. Even the ridgeline, they use it. This one's been seam sealed as well, but it's also taped on the top. So the seam seal just adds an extra layer of protection, but it's really not needed the way that Paul has put this tarp together. It's really quite robust. But again, to seal this door up, I would just snap that one side. So leaving this side open makes it easy to get in and out. So here's the winter tarp showing. I've got one of the end panels open, got a bit of shock cord, and you can see I've tied it off to that pole mod that I showed earlier to just keep that door open. A lot of people, you know, they can use a Winter Dream tarp all 4 seasons, and they just keep these panels tied out like this and then just fold them in when they need them. So a winter tarp can be very versatile, especially if you're not worried too much about the extra weight from the panels, the larger size. I think this tarp is actually a 12-foot ridgeline, so it's really quite large. Lots of area, lots of vestibule space. I mean, a winter tarp like this is so great if you're going skiing or snowshoeing and you're carrying a lot of gear, because you can just throw all that gear, pull your sleds right inside with plenty of room. But you can also use it again during all seasons if you just want to pull those panels back, or in the case of if it's not too windy, I could get some sticks or maybe my trekking poles if I brought them, and I could prop up one of the sides to get what we call the porch mode. So one side that's against the wind is flattened down, and then I could have the other side opened up. So just a lot of options with the tarp. Again, this is the Winter Dream tarp from UGQ Outdoors. Great winter tarp, very robust, very strong, highly recommended. Check it out on theultimatehang.com. Thanks for watching.